What's going on, Shababs? A man like the Shababs. You know, all these YouTubers are like, hey, what's going on, little gang? What's going on, Fusi gang? What's going on, Vital gang? Go take gang. Anyway, I'm gonna call you the Shababs. Man like the Shababs. Going on. Thank you for your support. Anyway, we're going to be covering the big three news of the day. First one is about Khabib and the UFC. So there's been some recent developments about this story through the weekend. The second piece of news is, again, Jamal Khashoggi, so the Saudi journalist. Basically, there's a report that Saudi Arabia is about to admit its wrongdoing in this case and killing the journalist in the embassy. So we're going to have our special correspondent, Mohammed Hassan, fill us in, just like he did in the last episode. And the third news has to do with Boko Haram in Nigeria, the terrorist group who just beheaded an aid worker. Very sad news coming out of Nigeria. We're going to delve into that a little bit and see what's going on there. With nothing more to do, the famous song of the day. This song is actually very special to us because Emre Atli, yes, Emre Atli, our DOP for this show, actually just shot this video with Bugsy Malone and notes. The video should be coming out soon, so shout out to Emre, shout out to Bugsy. Breathe. He knows what I'm talking about. Bear love, of course. Papa! So let's start with the Khabib story. It seems that our Dagestani turned Muslim superhero champion is starting to throw his weight a bit. So it all started when he posted this on Instagram. So basically he threatened to quit the UFC, and his reason is that Zubaida, who was one of the guys implicated in the brawl that broke out, and he's one of Khabib's teammates and a UFC fighter as well. The UFC have said that Zubaida's next match is going to get cancelled. He was supposed to fight one of Conor McGregor's teammates, Artem Lobov, which actually started all of this debacle between Conor McGregor and Khabib. And they also said that Zubaida will no longer fight for the UFC. So of course, in a proper Muslim superhero Dagestani fashion, Khabib responded and said, if you decide to fire him, you should know that you will lose me too. We never give up on our brothers in Russia, and I will go to the end for my brother. If you still decide to fire him, don't forget to send me my broken contract, otherwise I'll break it myself. Yes, I will wrestle my contract, I will break my contract, I am crazy, I am Dagestani, crazy mountain. Basically, he's very pissed off. In one sense, look, it is loyalty, and I do respect loyalty, and he does have a point. There seems to be a double standard in the treatment, considering, of course, Conor McGregor threw that metal dolly in the bus and passed all the possible red lines, really got away with just a slap on the wrist. Well, he got choked on the neck rather than slapped on the wrist, if you know what I mean. Anyway, then obviously Khabib tried to throw his weight more around on the UFC, and 50 Cent, yes, my man, 50 Cent. We need to play a 50 track, man. Man like 50 Cent was like, yo, Khabib, quit the UFC. Come to Bellator, yeah, I'll give you 2 mils just like that. I filed for bankruptcy, but you know I got the P. I bully all these MCs, hey. Anyway, man like 50 Cent, basically, my man, he actually tweeted at Khabib and he told him, you know what, I'll give you 2 million right now, which is basically the purse that the Nevada Athletic Commission is withholding from Khabib after the fight. And he said, I'll give you 2 million if you come fight at Bellator. Ali Abdelaziz, Khabib's notorious manager, responded and said, brother, what do you mean 2 million? Brother, come on, man. We want at least 50 million. Khabib is superstar now. You know, money. This is not a Muslim charity, hey? So basically, it doesn't seem like the manager is really going for that offer, but it's there, and that's pressure on the UFC, my man. And Khabib continued. He added more to this story, and he actually shouted out Floyd Mayweather, and he was like, listen, man, you know what I mean? You fought Conor McGregor, but I dropped Conor McGregor, you know what I mean? So you should fight me.
Hey, let's go, Floyd. We have to fight now. 50-0 versus 27-0. Two guys never like lose. Let's go. Why not? Because in the jungle, only one king. Only one king. Who's the king? Of course, I am the king.
Floyd said, you know what, if the money's right, obviously Floyd money Mayweather, he only gives a shit about the money. He told him if the money's right, let's do this. So yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to see what will actually end up, what the UFC will do. Will they bring back Zubaida to fight Artem Lobov this weekend? Will they sort of appease Khabib and his anger about the whole situation? What will happen? Will he fight for Bellator? Will he fight for the WWE? Will he fight Floyd money Mayweather? What will happen? We don't know. But just in case you're wondering what's going on with my man, Conor McGregor, the Irish. We're not here to take part, we're here to take over. Anyway, Conor McGregor, my friend, is very, very rich and he simply doesn't give a shit. He was seen in the Dallas Cowboys football game, throwing balls, drinking his Papa 12, chilling with the owners, absolute multimillionaires and so on, and saying, you know what, I just saw the stadium and I just imagined the arena in the middle. Anyway, man, he's having a lot of fun. He's been raving it out on Instagram saying this. He looked pretty fine. He looks in good spirits. So yeah, Conor McGregor doesn't give absolute shit. It's all about the money, mate. Yes, it's competitiveness. Yes, it's pride. But in the end of the day, as you see, both fighters are just trying to make more and more money. Cha-ching. I get it. Anyway, enough 50 Cent. Before we turn this show into a candy shop. So now, for the second story of the disappeared Saudi journalist, let's call our special correspondent, the one and only Mohammed Hassan with the beautiful blue eyes. Mohammed Hassan with the beautiful blue eyes. Mohammed? Mohammed? Is this Mohammed? Is this Mohammed?
Yes,
hey,
it
listen,
is.
man, I heard you were upset last time when I started telling you Mohammed. Can I call you babes instead?
You can call me whatever you like.
Wow, wow, wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, first of all, of course, thank you very much for taking the time to do this segment for our daily show as our most special correspondent. But please, let's get right into this. So we hear that there's a new twist in the story with Saudi Arabia actually going to admit that it killed the journalist. Is this actually true? It sounds like one of Usher's confession songs. What's going on?
Well, that's exactly what we've heard. Overnight, there was a report that came out from CNN citing two Saudi sources saying that Saudi Arabia is preparing to release a report in which they admit that they were in fact responsible for Jamal Khashoggi's death in what they say was a botched interrogation.
MH, Mohammed Hassan, Mohammed, the blue eyes, the wonder boy. Thank you very much for your time, brother, and hopefully we see you soon in another breaking news story that doesn't have to do with people dismembering other people's limbs. Thank you very much.
I really hope so. Thank you, Ahmed. Back to you.
Bye-bye. So that was MH, the one and only. Hopefully gave you all that you needed to know about the case. And now for the third story of the day. Third piece of news, we have Boko Haram, who just recently executed a female aid worker by the name of Hawa Liman. Now, if you remember, this story about Boko Haram, the terrorist group, only sort of gained traction in the West after the whole bring back our girls. So they had kidnapped hundreds of girls from a school in northeastern Nigeria. And even, many celebrities jumped on it, like Michelle Obama and so on, and said, bring back the girls. There was a lot of commotion about it. There was a negotiation between the Nigerian government and Boko Haram, and the girls were returned. The crazy double standard about all of this is that we only sort of remember these things when it suits us. So Nigerian President Buhari, who got elected in 2015, came on the mandate that he will destroy Boko Haram within a year and that everything, will be amazing in northeastern Nigeria. Well, he failed in doing so. I'm not a massive critic of President Buhari. I actually respect a lot of the things that he's done in terms of leading anti-corruption campaigns in Nigeria and so on. But let's be honest, right? The Boko Haram situation cannot be stamped over with an iron fist. It cannot be eradicated through this approach of I will go and I will kill all the insurgents. And by the way, Boko Haram is a very dangerous group, perhaps even more dangerous than what we call ISIS or Daesh in the Middle East. You're talking about 20,000 people have been killed since 2009, and that's just a rough estimate. There's some estimates that go much higher than that, and 2 million people have moved from their homes from northeastern Nigeria. Now, just to put it in perspective, there's a map here that my man Emre is going to insert right there, which is essentially shows you where Boko Haram works. It's around the Lake Chad Basin. So they operate in northeastern Nigeria, in the extreme north of Cameroon, eastern Chad, and the southeast of Niger. Two very important facts about this group. First of all, the iron fist approach doesn't work because this is how it actually all started. In 2009, the Nigerian government had attacked the chief cleric of Boko Haram. They executed him, an extrajudicial killing in Borno State, Nigeria, along with hundreds of members, forcing the group to go underground. The north of Nigeria, which is a majority Muslim area, this group was trying to help marginalized people in Borno State. Yes, their ideology was radical, but perhaps if they hadn't tried to kill all of them in the beginning, we wouldn't be at the point that we are here today. And then following that, after the cleric was killed, the radicals of the group became the prominent forces within the organization. The guy who's very known, he has some stupid videos, Abu Bakr Sheko.
Army, bring back our army. Jonathan, girl, Christian, bring back our army.
I will kill all of you. Can I ask you a question? I will kill all of you. Islamic State, Caliphate. This head. Anyway, point is, that's not how you deal with these groups. We have to understand that solutions to these kinds of crises have to be nuanced. And finally, just so you know, Boko Haram has committed one of the worst massacres known to man. So if you remember a few years ago when the whole Charlie Hebdo incident was covering all over the news, on the same day, Boko Haram had killed 2,000 people in the town of Baga in northeastern Nigeria, had burnt them alive. Here's a before and after photo of it. Look at that, complete destruction. Yet nobody cared. Every year there's no sort of global condemnation, the anniversary of the Baga massacre. So yes, we should be more nuanced when we look at these things. We shouldn't just jump on these causes when hashtags go viral. And yes, to the politicians, to the governments, to the militaries, you can't just bomb the hell out of terrorism. It just simply doesn't work that way. The Muslim majority North has a lot of problems, including illiteracy, including poverty, including a lack of investment, including corruption from Nigerian authority. We cannot just see it in a one-dimensional lens like this. And thank you very much for that. And now for the video of the day. And so, since Saudi Arabia has featured so prominently in our news show, already 3 episodes in, we thought, you know, Saudis. So this is definitely the video of the day. Saudis and Audis. If you're a Saudi watching us right now and you don't have an Audi, I don't know what to say. Maybe move to Amman or Qatar or something. You have to be Saudi. You have to roll in an Audi. You know how it goes. And yeah, it's always good to know that some people can take a joke. Hopefully you can take a joke. If you can't take a joke, please express yourself in the comment section as freely as possible. And then obviously if you're being racist or stupid, we're gonna have to filter out your comment. Time away yesterday. Brother, I didn't know you had the singing vocals inside you. I'm Bugsy Malone, mana box that thing, mana, yeah, mana.